It was a warm afternoon of the average sort. The kind of sort that makes the monotone mantra of life continue on, drowning out the little excitement that life brings. The wind was blowing mildly, the kind that makes whispers that vanish when you listen to them. The day was like any other, yet entirely different. I was like any other man, yet, well, I don't know actually. You see, I lost my memory. What I did remember was foggy and doubled, except my memories were not doubled. Not exactly. They were in pairs, yet complete contradictions. It was as if I was two men, the stark idealist and the compromised criminal. On one hand, I was extraordinary dashing sort, who had the whole world before them. Yet, still that other one, who was lost and hopeless, looking for his next poison. What little thoughts I had, I could not tell if they were my own. I had just finished a short walk from the train station to the local diner, where I daily went to contemplate my situation.
Oh, good day.
Is it?
You decided where you're going?
No, not yet.
You've been to that train station once. You've been there 100 times. You go there every day after coming here to eat lunch. Every time I try to give you advice, you say, "Oh, I don't need your advice. I just need to clear my head." You want to know what I think?
No, I don't want to know what you think. Ever since I arrived in this town...
Athens.
Yeah, Athens. Ever since I arrived here, you've been good to me. A great pal. But I'm just going through some troubled times right now. I just need to clear my head.
Fine, have it your way. But listen, stay off the streets. You're bound to get in trouble if you stay on them.
Say, what are you, my father? I don't need your help. I roam the streets every day. I can take care of myself.
I know you roam the streets, but you're gonna get in trouble. You don't run this place.
It wasn't as if it was bad advice to avoid roaming the streets. Anyone with a pair of eyes could see that the obvious reason for sticking to the straight and narrow sidewalk. But I needed to think. How could I decide where to go? I didn't know who I was, much less what direction I was heading. I needed to get alone with my thoughts and wrestle with many distant but vast ideas in my head. To go fist to fist with two voices fighting for my identity and find out who I was.
Whoa there, miss. Are you okay?
Yes.
Quite a fall.
I had a little help, and I'm in a little hurry, so if you were quite done, you could let me go.
Of course. Where are you in a hurry to?
Not so much to the scrubs. I'm in a bit of a bad spot. My last job didn't end too well.
Are you in any kind of trouble? The police station's right around the corner.
No, not that kind of trouble. I just need a place to stay.
You don't have a place to stay? You're not from around here, are you?
I'm from down south, but I've been here a while, and my job always took care of my lodging. You wouldn't happen to know of a place, would you?
I do have a place, the motel.
Are you staying there?
Yes, and so can you, if there's any vacancy, of course.
Of course.
Let me take your bag for you.
Yes, we do have openings for the summer. May 18th? Sure.
Good afternoon,
Okay.
Sally.
You too. Have a good night, Mr. Clayton.
Where's the boss?
He's not in at the moment. What can I do for you, Mr. Carter?
Not for me, for Miss...
Natalie. Jane Natalie.
What can I do for you, Miss Natalie?
I would like a room if you have one, please.
We currently don't have any openings, but if no one checks in by 8 o'clock, we could see if we could squeeze you in.
Okay, I'll check back then. I'll just have to occupy myself for the time being. Mr. Carter, you wouldn't happen to know of any place I could get something to eat, would you?
What?
Well,
A place to eat.
there is a restaurant. It's about 3 blocks down. You make a left onto 7th Street.
I'm terribly bad with directions.
Well, Mr. Carter knows the way, don't you?
Yes, but don't you think it's a little early for dinner?
I don't mind.
He was here.
Which way did he head?
Hard to say. My guess is back towards the old hotel.
Well, I'll head back to headquarters. You keep an eye on him.
You were silent the whole way here. In fact, everything about you is silent. Even your eyes.
My eyes?
Well, yes. Your eyes. Everyone's eyes tell a story. Except for yours. They're blank. The story's gone.
Well, that would certainly describe me.
Well, it can't be that depressing. Tell me, Mr. Carter, what's your family like? Old English roots? Or maybe you're one of the bucking frontiersmen? Surely, your story has to have something to it.
I couldn't tell you. In fact, I don't even know that my last name's Carter. Whether I'm English or German. I've been closer to the frontier than I am right now.
What can I do for this fine couple tonight?
We're not a couple. I will have whatever your specials are.
The same.
All right, I will be right back.
You aren't even sure of your own name? Now how can that be so?
It was the strangest thing. I woke up on the city limits with no memory, just the slacks I'm wearing and a wallet. The ID said that my name was Calven Carter, so I assumed it was my own.
That's extraordinary. Your memory must have come back by now, though.
It comes to me in shadows and whispers, foggy and diluted, like a man who needed glasses his whole life and suddenly loses them. He can barely see, and what he can see is doubled and blurred. I have two sets of memories, almost like I'm two separate men.
Well, it sounds like the story of anyone to me.
I don't follow.
Why, this is America. One can be whatever they set their mind to. We choose from our different dreams and aspirations the life that works most well for us, within the given circumstances, of course.
Well, I suppose you could put it that way.
So what do you want to do?
I want to get my memory back.
Well, the answer is simple then.
Is it now?
Why, yes, it is quite plain to me.
Well, when you're done putting your trust on this intelligence, you can explain what apparently is so obvious.
Cool your boiler, dear. I simply mean that to remember what you cannot, you only have to jog your memory by finding things that will engage you.
That's an interesting idea. But how does one go about doing that?
Find and do the things that you have memory of. Perhaps they will help you remember. What do you remember?
Simple things. People, objects, and surroundings, but never faces.
Strange. Well, we'll just have to work with what you have.
I've told you a lot about myself. What about you? You're about your job in the South?
I persuade people. I counsel them. I help them to follow their dreams and to remember who they really are.
And people pay for that?
Well, of course. Being who you really are is everything in this world. Some people just need a hand to help them get there.
Does this pay well?
Well, there is that too, of course.
This work you do, is it dangerous? Because when we met, you were being thrust into an alleyway.
Oh, well, yes. Oh, the food is here. Good. I'm famished.
After dinner, I went straight back to the motel, although Jane wanted me to accompany her on her walk. I was tempted to go. I knew close to no one, and Jane had distracted me from the unending drumming that went on behind my temple. Wrestling with my thoughts after dinner had become tradition, though, and at least one half of me was a stickler for tradition. In the morning, I found a note slid under my door. Jane wanted to meet for lunch by the lake. I felt uneasy about it, but I was intrigued. It was the first unusual thing that had happened since, well, as long as I could remember. I still went down to the train station that morning and read every destination, twice. Again, in my usual cloud of confusion, I left the station. I made my way to the lake to find Jane. That is when I found the lake. She was waiting on the beach, with a blanket and a basket right out of a movie. There she was, with ridiculous floppy hat, and sunglasses 3 sizes too big. Part of me wondered why I was still bothering with this dame, attractive as she was. The other part of me was more upset. Her sunglasses blocked me from getting lost in her eyes, the way she saw I was lost in mine.
Good afternoon, Miss Natalie.
Mr. Carter, we are friends, aren't we?
I suppose you could say that.
Why must you always be so dramatic? I was just going to say that you could call me Jane. Plain Jane.
Plain Jane.
Yes. Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter.
Yes?
Mr. Carter.
Please, call me Calvin.
Is there something wrong?
May I be frank?
Well, we've already said that you could be whoever you want to be, and considering that you don't know who you really are...
No, I mean, can I speak plainly with you?
Oh, silly me, of course, we are friends.
Just lately, I've just been really stressed.
Well, I would assume so, considering that you've forgotten your whole life and trying to remember what...
Yes, but no, it's more than that.
I don't understand.
My memories, I feel as if I'm 2 different people. And I can't decide what's worse. That I don't know who I am or which one I would rather be.
My, that is quite a problem. But say, it's a good thing we ran into each other.
Why is that?
Well, this sort of thing is my job. Remember?
For a price.
We'll say we're friends, so I can help you as a friend.
As a friend?
Yes, as a friend.
Look, I appreciate it all, but I have my own troubles and you have your own, so I don't want to waste your time.
No, I want to help. You could do me a favor later and we'll call it even. Besides, out of everyone I've counseled, I've never met anyone so...
So what?
so handsome.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You could have a wife or a girlfriend, some damsel in distress back at home where he's sick.
No ring, Mr. Tapley. I'm all on my own. No one to love.
No, Calvin. You have me. Jane.
Where do we begin?
With what you remember.
She's always with him.
Jealous?
Don't be ridiculous.
Where do you think they're headed now?
Not sure, but we should grab him.
Impossible. We have to wait. You know the orders.
And that's exactly where we began. Little things I remembered. Simple things, shapes or objects. We wandered around town for so long, you would have thought its walls would fall. And she was right. It did help. It was only little things, but more than I remembered since I'd arrived in town. But the more I remembered, the more haunting feeling would find me. Even the little relief I got in sleep was replaced with nightmares. The only relief I got was when I was with Jane. I found her filling my time as well as my mind. The next day I near forgot breakfast. Jane was rapidly consuming my every thought, which should have bothered me, only it didn't, considering all else I had to think about was growing darkness inside me. We met that morning after breakfast, down by the lake again.
So, dear, where would you like to start today? Browse some more tailor shops, try to find the man who made your suit? Or go see some grocers? Anything that clears your cloud over your head.
That's great, but there's something I need to tell you first.
Oh, have you remembered that you had a family?
No, not that. It's just, I feel like I've known you forever.
Oh, that's cute, Cal, but every boy says that. But I have grown quite fond of you.
You know what's really crazy? I feel as, like, my memories, foggy as they are, I can still see you in them.
That's nice. But I think you have quite the active imagination.
So, now that we're friends, would you mind telling me what kind of trouble you're in?
Oh, that.
I don't mean to pry if...
No, you have a right to know.
She went on to tell me how her father had gotten into some trouble. Trouble that had followed Jane and now threatened to drag her into her father's mess. I didn't know what kind of trouble her father was in. She didn't say. I didn't ask, but I immediately knew I had to do something. Jane was all I had. How could I lose her?
What do we do? How do we escape?
No, I can't have you getting involved too. I've already lost my father to this war. I can't lose you as well.
You must be the one with the active imagination, because if you think I'm just going to sit here and you're going to be in danger, then you're wrong.
Well, maybe there's one thing that you could do.
What is that?
First, I'll need you to go to Blank City.
Blank City. Blank City's the name?
Yeah, Blank City, why?
I feel if I've known this place, but yeah, you know what? Never mind. What do you need me to do?
It did seem familiar. In fact, too familiar. I could with effort see Jane and myself there, but I told myself I was delusional, which I very well could have been after all, and blamed it on an overactive imagination. Nevertheless, we went on over the plan. I would leave for Blank City the day after next. Why it was called that, she assured me it was irrelevant. When I arrived, she said I would know what to do, though to be instinct, second nature. That night, I had the worst nightmares yet. I awoke with more memories, all of that apparently unimportant place. I had no idea why or when I was there, but I knew I needed to find out what happened in Blank City. Jane,
Oh, good morning, Cal. How long were you waiting there?
since I woke, but you need to tell me something exactly. What kind of danger are you in, and how come I remember Blank City?
Oh, darling, I wish you'd stop asking such questions. They're really no benefit to you and they would only weigh you down. Just yesterday, you were saying how you could always remember me, although you've only met me days before. Are you really swayed by every thought of nonsense that you have?
But Jane,
No. If you want to help me, then you have to stop asking such questions and trust me. You do trust me, don't you?
do.
And you do want to help me. If not, I'm sure I could find someone else.
No, Jane, I do want to help you. Part of me screamed, begging me to run from Jane and her grasp, which had encompassed me. I could not help it, though. She had me. I did feel as though I had always known her. My memories did seem to have her in them. I did not tell her it was the dark ones. No, I didn't even tell myself that. The reality would mean, well, I didn't want to think of that. I was happy with Jane. What else could I need? Yet part of me still asked the question, what happened in Blank City? That afternoon I went for a walk by myself. I wanted to wrestle with my thoughts one good last time before it didn't matter anymore. If I did what Jane wanted me to do, who was I wasn't much of a consequence anymore, only who I would be. I stopped at the drugstore to buy cigarettes, but as I was purchasing them I remembered that my father had died from smoking, so I got a pack of those gum ones that the kids used to pretend. I needed something to chew on to stop me from grinding my teeth and to stop my mind from grinding my conscience. It really just went to prove I was alone, as Jane said. If I didn't help her, I really would be as lost as she had seen in my eyes.
Calvin!
Hey, well, look what the cat's struggling. Cigarette?
Yeah, sure. How have you been? I haven't seen you in days.
I'm good. You'd be happy to know that I found a place to go.
Oh yeah, where's that?
Blank City.
What? You can't go there.
No cigar in the world could change my mind.
Calvin. You don't even smoke cigars. Use your conch. Everyone who ends up going there does the dance. Do you even know why it's called Blank City?
Hey, old friend, close your head. Why does it even matter to you?
Listen, Calvin. I care about you. I truly do. You're a good friend. Do you even know anyone else in this town besides me? My father, okay? Listen. He has a place up north. He helps people like you who need help. You can go there. I put a lot of blood and sweat into that place to help get it running.
I'm pretty sure, old friend, you're off your rocker. Good day, sir.
I knew he meant well, and was probably right about Blank City, but I also wasn't going to tell him I was going there because of a dame. I left the restaurant without anything to eat and went straight to my room. I had to leave early in the morning for the train and wanted to catch some shut-eye, but all I caught was more of that eerie feeling it had been growing inside my chest. My anxiety over the situation grew to the point of nausea. When I did fall asleep, it was much too late, which seemed to set a pattern because the next morning I didn't wake until I heard the train horn.
Where's H.S.? Don't worry about it. Agent F, we don't have time for games. Where is she?
She's with the subject.
So what do you know?
So far, all we know is that he's always with the woman. Agent S wants to grab him.
She knows we can't do that though. He needs to come willingly.
How are we gonna do that exactly?
Well, the woman definitely needs to be removed from the situation.
And how do we do that?
Leave that to me.
Where are you going?
Blank City. That's some video.
On the way to the train station, I decided to get a haircut. If my old identity was gone, my old appearance might as well be too.
Deaconess, what are you doing? You missed the meeting.
We have to grab him before he boards the train to Blank City.
You know we can't do that. He has to come in front of witness.
There he is. Is this your signature?
Who are you?
No, you can't do that.
You're late. I was beginning to think that you had changed your mind.
No, but I met a friend last night. One of my first friends, actually. He told me this was a bad idea.
You told someone? Calvin, I thought I could trust you.
No, I only told him where I was going.
This man, he isn't always talking about some vineyard up north, is he?
Well, actually, that describes him precisely. Why?
He's crazy. Ask anyone. Always talking about this vineyard up north with his father. You didn't let him get to you, did you?
No, but I almost did. Thank you.
You're going to miss your train.
Okay, I'll see you.
Cal.
Goodbye, Jane.
Goodbye, Cal.
The train arrived in Blank City 2 hours later, long enough for me to doubt everything I was about to do. I knew what Jane was asking me to do was not the most ethical, but once on the train, it really snapped into me. That and those two fellows back at the station who had it out for me, not to mention their strange question. Could I go through with this? How could I not? Jane was all I had. The train pulled into the station at 8 o'clock.
Mr. Carter.
Where are we going?
You will see.
The door shutting behind me sounded disturbingly like jail bars locking. The dark car was blocked from the sun, as was the entire town due to the grime and smog that floated over the city. This was where I found myself, a few days after I'd awoken on the side of the road, the sun beaming in my face, my past forgotten. I could have gone anywhere I wanted, but I came here. I saw people, lots of people, people who had once had hopes, dreams, ambitions, but instead were lured here, where they felt their only hope of survival was to cling to the lawlessness that dripped off this man. Anyone with a brain behind their temple could see why it's referred to only as Blank City. The sky, the buildings, the people's faces, they all had the same story, hopelessness. Void of ambition, the only thing that existed for was the emptiness of life here. None of them could remember nor imagine life outside. Suddenly, my memories were much more vivid. I was here before. The day in the alley wasn't the first time I met Jane. My father was in trouble, but it was the kind of trouble no one gets out. The kind that just grows and multiplies and sucks in anyone who gets too close.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but there's been some sort of mistake. Not the man for the job. No one is. No. When they leave, they're born for this.
They locked me in a small room, barely enough room to breathe. Some kind of projection and loud noise was playing. I knew it was meant to brainwash me. I knew it was only a matter of time until they came for me.
Mr. Calvin. Mr. Calvin, it is impolite to address whom you're speaking to. Mr. Calvin, do you remember me?
How could I forget?
How unfortunate that your conditioning was not as successful as the first attempt. You must have been stronger than we anticipated.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Yes, but what you must realize is that I said not as successful, not that I failed.
What?
You see, conditioning should render your head completely empty, except for the thoughts that we placed there.
Sorry to rain on your parade, pal, but didn't exactly work.
Yes. You see, you made it just to the outskirts of Blank City before you collapsed, leaving your job unfinished, I might add. But you'll do better this time, though. I'm an optimist. Bring him in!
I already told you I won't talk. Mr. Carter?
Who are you?
You don't remember me. Not you too.
How unfortunate. You see, Mr. Carter, this here will demonstrate how we handle disobedience. Disobedience, such as yours.
I'm not afraid of what you can do to me. I serve a higher authority.
Yes, I'm aware. Mr. Carter, I believe the point is made obvious.
You're better than this. You have to fight it. You're stronger. Mr. Carter.
Sorry.
Mr. Carter.
I'm not like you.
How unfortunate. Maybe so, Mr. Carter. But you will be. I'm a forgiving man, Mr. Calvin. A man of second chances. Remember that.
And so I waited for this so-called second chance. They fed me nothing, and my weariness over the choice kept me from sleep. And again, at that moment when I was at my weakest, she approached me, that Jezebel of a woman.
Go away, Jane. I'm done talking.
Oh, Calvin, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. My father is a reasonable man. We'll get out of this.
No cigar.
What's so funny?
My friend recently reminded me that I don't smoke cigars. Neither will I take order from your father.
Well, what if I ask?
Jane, we are friends, right?
Of course.
Then can I ask you something as a friend? Get out.
You miserable excuse for a man. Don't go around acting all righteous now. Look where you are. No one brought you here. No one forced you to come here. You came here out of your own free will. You came here for me.
Goodbye, Jane.
Of all the insufferable fools you asked about my job, you weren't the first I brought here, and you won't be the last.
Goodbye.
You will do what my father asks. You will do it, or you will die. No. Yours will be worse than death.
Mr. Carter, now have you come to maybe ready to carry out that little demonstration we talked about earlier? That's better.
No, Mr. Carter, don't. Fooled me twice. Shame on me.
Carry out the one thing I asked you to do, couldn't you? Couldn't do it. What is this? Now, Jane, please show Mr. Carter how the demonstration should be carried out.
With pleasure.
That, Mr. Carter, is how the demonstration should have gone. But seeing as you don't quite have the qualifications, we are no longer considering your employment.
Should I show him the demonstration one more time?
Yes, but I do believe it is a more painful demonstration. Sing to the furnace.
Burned alive. Great. You used to be more talkative. What happened?
You used to be more fun. Stand here.
Jane, look, I like you. I really do. But just a guy like me isn't cut out for this kind of business.
It's a shame. You could have been something.
Maybe we still can.
It's a little too late to change your mind.
Run away with me.
With you? Never. Do you really think that you're that important?
That's the way you made me feel important. But when I couldn't remember anything, all I could remember was your smile.
That's sweet, Cal. Real sweet. But it's not about hard feelings here. It's just a business that I have to do.
I know it's your job. I'd do the same if it were mine. Only if I could remember what mine was.
Cute. Well, this is the right one.
Guess it is. But there is one thing I regret. That kiss. We never did have it. And I know, it's your job and all. And I'm about to die, but hey, you did say I was your most attractive assignment.
There is that. What are you doing? No!
Where am I?
Don't you recognize this place?
This is where I woke up a week ago.
This is where I found you.
How did I get here?
Well, I'm not an extraction agent for nothing.
Who are you?
What do you remember?
You, this, losing my memory. A week in Athens. Jane.
Good.
Good?
Yes, it's much more than last time.
Wait. This happened before. I remember this.
So what's that tell you?
I screwed up twice.
Yeah, there is that.
Alright, look, I've had enough of this. You're gonna tell me who you are and what you want.
What happened in Blank City?
What?
Blank City is where you went, where you should have never gone. What happened there?
Yes, wait, I remember. It all started in the morning, on the train. It was a cool morning. The dew had not yet vanished
Listen,
from the
Cal, I'm already aware of your activity there. And we need to get to the car fast, because it's about to rain and the sun's almost down. But when it is, we can't be here.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
Cal, cool your jets. Can we do something? Oh, Cal, cool your jets while you still can.
Look, Jane told me you had a few loose bolts. I'm starting to believe her. Now sing.
I'll let that one go because you're confused. But next time, you're not going to be so lucky. Now, stop. We need to get to the car. It's about to rain, and the sun is almost down.
No. Who are you?
Let's start with who you are.
What is this?
It's your badge.
My badge?
He went on to explain that I was an agent of an organization trying to stop the Excepte, the crime syndicate Jane's father ran. I was a respectful agent too, a real leader. He said people looked up to me. I was known in the civilian world as well. I was famous. The Excepte needed to corrupt me. And more than just me personally, they needed to ruin my identity. They needed to ruin the idea of me because I was an example, something to look up to follow, to give hope. If they ruin that, their work would be more effective. They take anyone in promising all the riches of the world, and instead exploit and brainwash them and leave them for dead, destroyed so they can't rise against their own power trip. I was assigned to stop them and spread light on their dirty operation. Jane was assigned to stop me, to destroy my identity, and she near did, twice. But luckily, that friend I thought was so dull was my extraction agent. He was sent to get me out when I ended up in Blank City. Jane had apparently gotten to me once before and convinced me to go there. He tried to help me along, but I needed to hit rock bottom before I'd see things as they were. When he came to me, it was a last-ditch effort. The story about his father's place was the assigned code. He was hoping it jogged my memory and bring me back, but it didn't. I'm back now though, and although I feel as though I haven't seen the last of Jane, I know next time I'll be ready. Until then, I'll do my job, stopping Jane's father and his associates, because I know what really happened in Blank City.
Yeah. Take the music. Yeah, let's get it. This is the deal, now I'm dipping. Little change happen, the crew I represent. We got that liver water, homie, come and take a sip. And I ain't my bluffing, this is real as it gets. A real Romans 1:16, find courageous, I believe I. Now I'm taking up, sharing Christ to the speakers. So listen up, I don't live for acceptance. That ain't enough to save my soul or change my situations. Yeah, it's all good, that's a part of me. I know I'm on a haters, I see a break. But then a steady rock, yeah,
That's funny.
Bloopers.
Stop. We didn't have cell phones in the 1950s.
Wait. I want to get a shot of the lake into the strangling. All right, here we go.
Where's my purse?
The truth. This is the life we live. This is what we pursue. Called by the one who plays. The truth.
Maybe so, Mr. Carter. But you will be. I'm a forgiving man, Calvin. A man of second chances. Remember that.
You are the worst henchman
ever.
I'm thinking of waiting for Manny.
Just for old folks, man, I gotta live it up. This is what the media tell me, I gotta listen up. Meant to my sin, 2020 to see my cup. What can I say? It seems that
There is one thing I regret though.
Oh?
That kiss we never had. And I know, it's your job and all. And I'm about to die. But hey, you did say I was your most handsome assignment.
Well, there is that.
That was not gonna work.
That's way too obvious.
Supposed to really.
You're supposed to move back with the head.
This is the life we live. This is what we pursue. Called by the one who bless and not to share the truth. This is the life we live. This is what we pursue.
Action!
Where's this? Don't worry. Francis, we don't have time for your game. First of all,
You know my name. We kept it confidential. I'm Agent F. She's Agent F. I don't even know your name. She's with the subject. Are you happy? Look, all we know is that he's always with her. And the agent is supposed to grab her now. So what do you want to do about it? Huh?
We gotta get rid of her. She's over there. We can't have her here anymore. Like, we gotta remove her. It's how we roll.
Who invited her to the meeting?
I sure we're in modern day clothes.
So you don't have to settle for the old day.